You ever have a bad idea? Like something you know you shouldn't do, but you want to do it anyway? That was me like a month ago at 3 in the morning. Instead of going to sleep, I was thinking to myself, could you beat Borderlands the pre-sequel using only the Party Popper? If you don't know, the Party Popper is a scav pistol you get from a mission called Hacksaws at the end of the Claptastic Voyage DLC. It fires 7 projectiles per shot, and they disappear after traveling a really short distance. As you could probably guess, that's not really a good thing for a gun to do. I've gotten this weapon with a negative accuracy stat. Don't know how that works. Doesn't matter though. The one for this one has a positive stat. Not that it matters. I've wanted to do a Borderlands challenge run for a while now. YouTube's just been throwing them at me constantly, and I've been watching them all, and they're great. I'll put the videos that inspired me to do this terrible thing in the description. So the challenge is simple. Use only the Party Popper to deal damage. We're not allowed to change from our starting gear, which it's nothing special. The Party Popper's the star of the show. There's a quick shield. It goes down in like 2 hits. Fast recharge. Buzz Desperado class mod. It's good all around. And for the O2 kit, I just went with the Cathartic Oz kit because it makes you fart when you slam. That's funny. That's comedy. Okay, that's gold. Playing Nisha for this run, mainly because she's got the one for each of your skill. It gives you an exact copy of the pistol in your right hand for your left, so you get to dual wield pistols, which is gonna be nice. You know, that's not annoying at all. I don't know what you're talking about. The pre-sequel doesn't have any overpower levels, so we're just doing this on UVHM level 70. I wasn't gonna do this alone, so I brought a friend to torture, and no badass rank. That's about it, so let's just jump right into it. Our journey starts on Helios, where we instantly have to run for ammo pickups because we have none to spare. We ended up doing this run without buying any ammo SDUs either. The first enemy just gets one shot, okay, and then everything else goes down in like 2 to 3 bullets. This gun is not as bad as I thought it was, is it? And we made our way to Jack. And then we had to run up real close to save Jack. I then tried to fight one of the doll fighters, and it was going well until it moved from being directly above me, so I couldn't really do anything else to it.
Hello, Mario.
I love cutscenes with only story-relevant characters. I then whipped Jack a bunch to wait for super long dialogue to pass, because this game has a lot of that for some reason. I was then actually able to kill one of these doll fighters, which is probably the only time in this run that I was able to do that. And now it was time for our first real test, the deciding factor for this run, if you will, to kill this guy, Flame Knuckle, who I wasn't really sure how it was going to go. The power suit was really the only problem here, because even with 2 people just laying in crits, it took a little bit to take it down, but once he was out of the mech suit, he really didn't stand much of a chance, I'll be honest. He really just died super quick. This is not telling in any way of how this run is going to go. Oh hey, we killed this asshole and then made our way down to Elpis to hang out with Janie Springs. And also to try and find the jamming signal that's messing with Helios or something like that, I don't know. With Janie a little bit. Janie sent us off to kill Deadlift because he's mad that she's a lesbian and he stole her Moonzumi key, which we need to get a car so we can jump over into Concordia. I then hit my head on the way to Deadlift, for good luck. I definitely didn't hit my head again going over the jump to Deadlift. Deadlift was going to be a very annoying boss because he just seems to run away from you all the time, and this gun can't really do much about that because you gotta be right on top of him. Which didn't really work. I just got one shot instantly by one of his little lightning balls that I couldn't see. And I do have to say that doing this challenge solo would have been absolute hell because going down means like an instant death unless someone is there to revive you. This fight was just a chase until Deadlift wanted to stop at one of his little fuse boxes where we were finally able to start getting damage in. And it was taking a while to burst his shield because his shield is huge. I was doing just as much damage as I could. Even after he electrified the floor, I was just jumping on his head shooting him. The 2 of us kept just laying into Deadlift's shield until finally we were eventually able to break his shield. And then once we did, my friend just gave up on the revive, thus putting the first death on the death counter. And with absolutely no ammo left in my guns, we were finally able to kill Deadlift. This is where we got rid of our original grenade that we gave ourselves that we'd never used in favor of the stock grenade, and boom, we're in Concordia, and immediately meet with one of the good ones.
You, I did.
Whipped Claptrap, definitely didn't stare at Nisha's ass. We tried to meet with the Mirith, but he sent us away because he's definitely not in cahoots with Zarpedon or anything like that. To Jack's dismay, he sent us to meet with Moxie, whipped Lilith on the dance floor a couple times, and just kind of stared at Roland. Whipped Lilith some more afterwards, though. And holy Moxie, she sent us to buy an STU, which we agreed on no pistol STUs because more pain is fun. Now to get to the jamming signal, we had to join a scav gang, which to do that, we had to go and kill a bunch of Pink Floydians, which is really just a travesty when you think about it. You know, like, they're already pretty much all dead already, so like, why do we gotta do it again, you know? Once in Crisis Scar, there was a whole one elite jetpack lad that was terribly difficult to kill. Now here, I have to apologize truly from the bottom of my heart for choosing a skin that I didn't have unlocked over the life of my friend. And I would do it again, and then immediately tried to troll and kill him again, but the gun just did not have the range for it at all. And now it's time for Red Belly, who instantaneously jumped away from us, causing us to follow right on top of him. And we took a great care in making sure not to shoot where the bullets would reflect back at us and instantly kill us. Once the two of them split, Red becomes priority number one, because he tends to just fly away, and that's no good, because, you know, the whole, like, really limited range thing. So we just kind of have to jump up at him and hope he stays in range, which, luckily, he stayed in range long enough for him to die. With the hardest part of the fight over, it's time to just finish off Belly, who's not really much of a challenge. He's really not—
I'm out of ammo!
I am out of ammo. I managed to kill a little scav with the second to last bullet in my gun, jump away from the boss, and immediately go down again because I was on fire. I was able to finish off the boss right before my fight for your life ended, was able to pick up my friend, and then we were on our way to shut down the jamming signal at the top of the building. And after that, we headed back to Concordia to confront the Mirith. And as we were waiting through dialogue and just jumping around making fart noises in the office, we received some life-changing news.
Ted Kaczynski died today.
After bawling my eyes out for a while, our next task was to get a stingray. Now, normally this part's not very hard, you just input a code into a door, but, you know, I'll let you watch it.
What about that door? Combo's 8008. Don't ask me how I know. At least the place still has power.
Oh my god! Hello.
It either changed by 2 or 6.
Or 6.
People who don't shoot the buttons are cowards, I just feel like I have to say that. Unfortunately, next up is meeting Pickle, who is— this little bastard has just such a way with words that I was apparently in the exact right trajectory to go flying right off the map in the middle of his introductory cutscene, perfectly capturing how I feel about Pickle as a character that actually exists. Huh. And Pickle tries to send us to the Drakensburg to get a military AI so we can build Jack's super awesome robot army. But before we did that, we threw ourselves in some turrets, just barely not falling to our deaths, and easily took down the badass Kraken. I threw myself at even more turrets once outside the Drakensburg, and also, I don't know if I mentioned this before, I might have, and I don't remember, but at this point I stopped buying ammo from vending machines because I apparently thought this challenge wasn't hard enough. And then it was time for really long, unskippable dialogue. And there was really only one thing for me to do during that. Time to look at buff women on Instagram. We continued making our way throughout the Drakensburg, getting closer to fighting Bosun and getting our military AI core. I also made sure to pick up the other extra funny fart O2 kit because I simply can't have enough of those. And it's time for the Reddit boss. Oh my god, it's Bosun. Bosun's always been a super easy fight. I mean, the hardest part about this fight was taking out a shield generator without a kill skill active. That's the hardest part. And he somehow was even easier because he got himself stuck inside of my friend, don't take that out of context, which made the fight way easier. Somehow. Like, I don't even know how you make Bosun easier, besides, like, just cheating. Like, we didn't plan for this to happen, so therefore we can't, like, come on. We did not cheat here. On Bosun, come on. We collected our military AI, and we're finally off to actually build Jack's super awesome robot army. I whipped the door, and this is where I realized that Nisha's playstyle is just— it really isn't inhibited by what gun she uses, because you just walk into a room, activate Showdown, and just kind of start spinning around while holding down the fire button, and you just kind of clear a room, no matter what you have in your hand. We saved our good buddy Gladstone, who then made us sit through 2.5 minutes of dialogue, And I was honestly kind of dreading building the constructor, because this turret part always sucks, but I didn't realize that the UVHM just apparently doesn't have health regen, or at least not on these enemies. So it wasn't that hard, and I almost ruined the run by killing an enemy with melee, but I turned away just before it hit him, so the run's good. We finished building our brand new constructor bot, and this next room of mobbing was just awful. Like, I don't know why it was so bad, but it was terrible. We died so many times on this room. We just need to put the AI into our new bot, and then we're out of here.
That's what you want, that's what you'll get.
And she betrayed us. Immediately. Okay, well, it's a good thing she's got a brand new constructor body to kill us with. Now, Felicity's a little bit like Deadlift in the way that she likes to just jump around the arena sometimes, which is a little bit annoying with this gun. Also, her bubble shield can be a little bit annoying because her surveyors just fly around above her, so you gotta jump into them sometimes. And this arena has a very limited supply of ammo. But before she died, she started, like, trick-shotting with her rockets. I don't know how or why she was doing this, but I just kind of had to let it play out, even though my friend was actively dying. Now back at Concordia, Moxie stashed some gear for us to use and gear up before we head back to Helios, so we totally took it. And I whipped people throughout the dialogue, again, of course.
Let's go. Meow. I'm 37.
Once in Jack's office, he sends us right to R&D to save Gladstone and his science buddies so they can shut down the field that's preventing us from getting into the veins of Helios. And for the last scientist, there's this big-ass stalker that you have to kill, which not having a shock weapon for this thing's shield is really a pain in the ass. But after shooting it enough, we take it down and we grab the keycard and we're back on our way. With all the scientists saved, we can regroup back at Jack's office as the scientists shut down the barrier that's blocking us from entering the veins of Helios. And as thanks, they get airlocked out of the space station. You know, this is actually, lore-wise, like a pretty important turning point in Jack's character arc, where I was really invested in what was going on and was paying a lot of attention to the scientists and their brutal, you know, just like execution that
was nuts.
And not much happened in the veins of Helios. Like, I tried to shoot a doll fighter, but that obviously didn't work.
Skadoosh.
Trolled. Bitch. I honestly didn't think you were gonna be able to reach that from there.
Of course I could. Alright, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, seriously.
It was finally time for Zarpedon. Now, I really wasn't sure how this fight was gonna go. Sometimes it feels like she's really easy, sometimes it feels like she's really hard. And I was not confident with this gun at all for this fight. I wish I could tell you that like this fight is some like sick back and forth. It's just really not. It's just not. Why is this gun so good? This was supposed to be a challenge.
This was supposed to be a challenge run.
With Zarpedon's mech and a 30-second wait for some reason out of the way, it's time to fight her for real. I have to say, immediately right off the bat, I know, like, her shield goes down in, like, 3 bullets. I understand. It seems like it'd be a lot easier of a fight, but she's just so tanky. On top of having a lot of health, she does a lot of damage in this phase and has massive AoE moves. And if that wasn't bad enough, she's got doll soldiers that spawn during this fight, and they're eternal doll soldiers, so they've got fire laser guns. And they are so annoying, especially when you go down and you have to crawl across the entire arena to start shooting at one, and then they start ascending, and if you don't kill them quick enough with your low fire rate while being down, they level up and full heal and start fucking flying. Yeah, no, I don't like them, if you couldn't tell. But killing them activates Nisha's Tombstone kill skill, allowing any shot to have a 30% chance of being a critical hit, is actually really good, as I killed half of her health in 1 kill skill duration, and then just couldn't hit her without it, because apparently her not focusing on me means I can't aim at her head.
You must turn back. The power within the vault would trigger a chain of defense.
With Zarpedon finally dead, we can go down and shut down the Eye of Helios that she was using to blow up the moon, but it's actually the Eye of the Destroyer, and oh no, wait, I'm just focusing on this moonstone chest that I spent moonstones on and got absolutely nothing out of. That's a good-ass feature right there. So we shut down the Eye and made our way back up to the observation room or something. I think that's what it is, and we got betrayed again. Really? God, you know, this many betrayals make me fucking go insane. God, I don't know how Jack's holding up. Come on, like, seriously. So now, I did the only thing I knew how to do, and that was whip Jack in his time of need because I felt he needed it. And I didn't realize how much I whipped him. Jesus Christ, dude.
What's the cutest cutie you ever saw?
There was a redhead on Promethea. It couldn't have been more than 12. We bombed his village to make space for an armory.
You are really bad at conversation.
After having to listen to Athena talk about cute 12-year-olds for some reason, we really tried to kill this dude, but we stood a little bit too far away from him and just showered him in confetti instead. So, you remember the whole thing about this gun having a really short, limited range to it? RK5 was the boss that I was dreading the most about this run, and if anything, was going to be the thing that ruined the run, because you can't kill him with this gun. But it turns out, there's a very small window of opportunity for you to jump and actually hit him. Seriously, look at how small of a window of opportunity you have to hit this boss. It's ridiculous. This fight just was awful. Like, missing an opportunity to hit the boss, getting, like, knocked off the side for some reason, be it just being an idiot or getting hit by some enemy, was the worst feeling I think I've ever had in this game. We also tried experimenting with different spots in the arena to see if we could hit him at other times that weren't just his overhead run, but they didn't really work, and it was clear that this fight was going to be a test of pure will. It also doesn't help that one shot from his little, like, electric cannon just instant kills you basically if you don't have full health and full shield, which the majority of the time in this fight we did not have. And if all of this wasn't bad enough, I haven't even gotten to the normal enemies that spawn in this arena alongside the boss. These Fallen Reapers, man. Oh my god, they are so tanky and they are so fast and deal so much damage. And then there's the flying ones that aren't Fallen Reapers, but they're super hard to hit because they're flying. And then there's Doll Soldiers too that sit on the outskirts of the arena and just snipe you from really far away, which you can't do anything about with this gun. This all just comes together to make this fight miserable. Like, seriously. The only good thing is Nisha's Unforgiven skill, which after Showdown ends, every enemy that you hit in Showdown blows up, taking additional damage, which really is the light at the end in this dark ass tunnel for this fight, because it's mainly the only reason that RK5 starts to take any damage. The majority of this fight is just sitting around waiting for him to do an overhead run, because that's, you know, obviously not the only move he has in his arsenal, but it's the only time you can really hit him, or so we thought. Foreshadowing, holy shit. The hatred I feel for this fight clearly goes both ways, because I somehow got lit on fire outside of an atmosphere, which is definitely not how that works. Then RK5 just did this out of nowhere, and dude, oh my god. I forgot that he did a low run. I genuinely haven't even seen this since, like, PlayStation 3. I thought it was a bug, honestly, because he's clipped through the wall when he does that move, too. I just didn't think it was real. At this point, we were over 30 minutes into this fight, and you could see how much damage we've done since then. So, figuring out, or remembering, whatever you want to call it, that he has a move where he's low to the ground for the majority of it, was like... It was like being a kid in a candy store. It was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. From here, we were using callouts for whether or not he was going for an overhead run or a low run. Also, he does contact damage in his low runs. That is the saddest thing I have ever heard. Another small thing that I want to mention, going back to the doll soldiers that are permanent in the arena. So there's always going to be 2 of them in the arena. You can kill off all the guardians and the rest of the soldiers, but there's always going to be 2. So during the time that we were waiting, we tried to get them very low accuracy guns, like a Jacob shotgun or a Hyperion pistol, mainly so they wouldn't be able to hit us from a long distance, which proved to be quite useful because then we could actually sit at the top of the tower and not get instant lasered by a laser gun. No, Duolingo's telling me that I have to translate "I live on the West Coast."
No!
That's fucked up. RK5 also has a different kind of overhead run where he goes really fast and drops like a couple nukes and even more rockets, which we also tried to use as an opportunity to be able to shoot him, but that did not work. He moves way too fast to be able to hit him.
No corrosive.
Low run.
Okay, I had a corrosive SMG on my.
Oh my god, wait, what happened to it? I blew up one of the things. Kill him!
I shot him, he's dead! He's done!
Finally, after over 2 hours of trying this fight, I managed to destroy one of his missile pods on his low run, which I didn't even know was a thing that you could do, and it just chunked his health. This fight took too damn long, and I don't want to do it ever again, especially with this gun.
Oh my god!
Hallelujah!
Hallelujah! Fuck you, RK5!
Fuck out of here. You thought, RK5.
You fucking thought.
Now with RK5 dead, we can begin our descent through Tycho's ribs. Even though it's more like a speed run through Tycho's ribs, because at this point we were so done. We've been playing all day, and we just wanted to get this run over with. But we can't go through Tycho's ribs and skip the Super Mario room. Which, honestly, looking back, we totally should have skipped it, because the amount of fallen reapers that spawn in this fight is abysmal. Like, there's maybe like 10 to 20 of them in this room alone, and it's so not worth it at all.
That's right, and like a couple veterans.
It just spawns a bunch of annoying shit.
Die, please, there we go.
Don't spawn another reaper in my line of sight when I'm shooting another reaper.
I got you! Oh! Oh my god, that actually worked? Oh god.
There's more reapers spawning.
God damn it. Fuck. God damn it, they're finally dead. Oh my god. Come here. Another fallen reaper, no!
Seriously, this room is so not worth it. It was so miserable getting through it, and you don't even get any rewards. You get like a couple chests that have absolutely no loot in them. But enough of me whining about fallen reapers. All we had to do was get through the rest of Tycho's ribs, and then we were home free. We were home free, baby. We honestly ran past most of the enemies, besides the ones at the door, obviously. But we finally found ourselves in Elseer. And the first thing I did was run through the first door before any of the turrets spawned, which is something that I've never seen happen, which just adds to the ridiculousness of this busted ass run, because there was so much stuff in this run that I'd never seen happen before. Opus Superior literally didn't last long at all, but now we were at the Vault of the Sentinel, and it was final boss time. I have no idea what they mean.
Yeah. Alright.
Let's see how bad this is.
Here we go.
Please enjoy this fully unedited boss cutscene so I don't have to write as much for my script. Thanks. No, I'm not actually gonna make you watch that whole ass cutscene. That's way too long of a cutscene. The Sentinel's gotta be the most obnoxious boss in the entire game, because he's got 7 phases for some reason, and if you die you gotta do them all over again. I have no clue what Gearbox was thinking designing this dude. But the first phase is probably the worst, because no Guardians spawn in the arena, it's just the boss, which means you can't activate Nisha's Tombstone skill, giving you the 30% chance to critical hit, but every other phase after the first one has at least 3 every once in a while that spawn in that you can activate the kill skill with, which makes this fight go way quicker. The biggest thing that we have to watch out for is his reflect move, which, if you're not careful enough, it will just instant down you. He can pull the move out of nowhere, and having to be so close to him to use this gun, it just instant downs you, which is the biggest problem in this fight. But other than that, it was kind of a breeze.
Die. Yep.
With the first 4 phases down, it's time for the even harder Empyrean.
Alright, it's gonna be kind of hard to hit his face.
No, it's
You can
not.
do it. Huh!
You know, the Empyrean Sentinel is way easier than the regular Sentinel. Another thing that makes this entire boss fight relatively easy to manage is the constant ammo regeneration that spawns around the outside of the ring, It is so nice to have a consistent source of ammo, considering the fact that we can only hold 2 magazines in this godforsaken weapon. Also, during his shock phase, it just did this for some reason. What is happening? So yeah, that's another thing on the list of just random things that happened in this run for some reason. The strategy for this fight was pretty much to just throw yourself at his face. The only issue that could arise is if he starts doing the black hole move while you're mid-air trying to shoot him, because it becomes really hard to get away from that if you're mid-air when it starts. But that's the only problem. Why is this gun is... This is the best gun in the game.
Good. It really is. Let me out. Here we go. Hello.
Why is it so good?
I don't know. Look at his health bar. Look at his health bar.
We didn't give ourselves like a level 1 billion version, did we?
No, we give ourselves a level 71. I'm stuck inside. We're both stuck inside him.
Goodbye, Empyrean Sentinel. Huh. And with the death of the Empyrean Sentinel, I guess we can answer the question: can you beat Borderlands the pre-sequel using only the party popper? Yeah, you can. And the biggest roadblock is RK5. Like, I never used this gun in combat, so I never realized that it's actually apparently really strong at close range. But don't leave just yet, okay? We go in a bit of a victory lap from here. The first thing is we headed back to Jack's office to turn in the mission. Immediately unequip the Rosie, because that thing pales in comparison to the party popper, which is not something I ever thought I would say. We celebrated with Jack by just throwing some confetti in the air, and now it was time to do a couple side quests. So I wanted to fight Meg, because this game has a Family Guy Star Wars reference in it. Are you kidding me? Yes, I'm gonna do that. But to do that, we had to do a couple prerequisite side quests. One of these quests has you pick up flowers and plant them in front of Jack's office, but then he tells you to light them on fire to get rid of them, but we don't have a fire gun, so we need to find a Lost Legion Marine with a fire weapon to help us out.
He's coming. Oh Lord, he's coming.
You have a gun.
AI, please. Hello.
And for some reason, this dude, who had no problem killing us before, like, he killed my friend earlier as I was trying to lead him over here, and subsequently not reviving my friend. But then once he gets over here, he just kind of stared at us. It's like he knew what we were doing, and he was just like, nah, nah, nah. Okay.
Perfect.
All of a sudden, he just wants to shoot him.
And where is he going? Where is he going? What the fuck is he going? He's gone. He's just leaving. He clipped through the fucking map. He just left. God damn it.
After our only chance just noped out of there for some reason, we reset the map and I went to find Corporal Bob, who has a nice big ass flamethrower that we can hopefully use to burn these plants.
It's meleeing you.
There we go.
We're good.
Now with that out of the way, we can actually fight Meg. And the only reason that I really wanted to fight Meg was so I could put Peter Griffin going, "Oh, you stupid." But like, that's a month later, and that joke just really isn't that funny to me anymore, so here we are, I guess.
You stupid!
Next on our list was Irijiro, the secret giant kraken boss that's behind Janie Springs' place. And honestly, he stood no chance. After definitely killing Irijiro, Nell was on our list next. But not before I could break my game ridiculously once again. Huh? What the fuck?
What?
That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in a Borderlands game. Now, I really don't know what happened here, because this glitched my game so hard Now, what I think happened is I managed to enter the car the same frame that my slam hit the ground, which also destroyed my car on the same frame. And then the game didn't know what to do with me in that moment, so it just respawned me, but also dropped all my items on the ground and removed everything from my inventory, which also stopped most of my skills from working. As you can see, I couldn't dual wield, and my Unforgiven skill didn't even work, so I was pretty much useless in combat. But after that terrifying look as to what this challenge would have been like if we weren't playing Nisha, it was time for a freaking raid boss, baby. Let's go. Also, last weird thing in this run is that the cop claptrap was just in the dumpster for some reason. He was just kind of hanging out. It goes kind of hard, honestly. Now, this game's raid boss is honestly just pretty disappointing. It's just a straight copy of the final boss of the game with just way more health, and it's just annoying. By the time we got to the raid boss, it was 1 in the morning, and we were so ready to be done with this challenge. Because we did this whole playthrough in one day. We started at around 1 o'clock, played for 3 hours until 4, took another break, then started again at 9. This long-ass fight at 1 a.m. was the last thing we wanted to be doing over again. So naturally, we got to the corrosive phase, the last phase of the boss, phase 7, and then we died, naturally, and had to do it all over again.
Gone. Awesome attack. Bro.
Tactical man-on-head reload.
I don't even know what is going on right now, dude.
I might die.
Black hole.
I'm so dead.
I'm okay. I got a second win though.
I'm dead.
Like, I might die here too. I'm absolutely dead. Oh, fuck. This happened last time too. God damn it.
No, we weren't just gonna give up. Just like we did for Iwajiro. We were gonna go back in and we were gonna kill this bastard.
You don't deserve to fucking live no more. There it goes. I'm dead up here.
An hour and a half later, the raid boss is dead. There you go. There's not really much else to do.
Bro, what, you don't like the party popper?
No. But that's pretty much all I have for you. To my subscribers, normal videos will return soon. I know I haven't uploaded in a while. This video took a little bit to make. Maybe, if this does well, and people yell at me to do it, I'll do the DLC with this gun. But regardless, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And most importantly, have a good rest of your day.